All right, guys, we are going live here for another trade. This time we're going to do it in NVDA. NVDA today just gapped higher. So as always, we need to wait a few minutes for people to come in, and then we're going to do this live. I've actually had a lot of feedback, even though not that many people are joining and not that many people are actually watching the whole thing, but the feedback has been very, very positive. So we are going to incorporate this in our Clubhouse member service in the near future. For right now, we're going to keep it open, and we'll probably always keep it open to some extent so you guys can join. So let me quickly share this with the world so we get more people to join. Let's see here. Live now. Okay, hey guys. Thanks for joining. We need to give it a few more minutes until people trickle in, as always. I'm just quickly sharing it here on Twitter. Where is the column? How are you guys doing? Everyone good? Yeah? No, you don't care? Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about NVIDIA. I just put on a trade a bit ago. I've already shared it with Clubhouse members. Very good. Who in here is here for the first time today? So just to give you a little feedback, I started doing live streams on YouTube literally, I think last Friday, so just a few days ago. And, right, okay. So we'll look at the trade. Excellent. Well, it looks like we're getting a little bit more traction here. So for those of you guys that are just joining, what I said before is that we're doing this YouTube live stuff. People seem to like it a lot. In my industry, I think very few people, if anyone's doing it, unless they're day trading, which in my opinion doesn't work. I've done this for 20 years. I've worked in Wall Street, and day trading, no. But this kind of stuff works. So that's what we're going to do. And so basically what we're trying to do, and just so you know, I've already put this trade on. I already sent out a text message to Clubhouse members, but I still think the trade is good. So it's timely. This is very timely. That's why we're doing it live. So let's give it another minute or so at most, and then we'll get started. But to give you a little bit of background, of course, NVIDIA reported earnings yesterday after the close, and the stock is right now is trading higher by almost 14%. Okay, so as a basic principle, I don't like to chase stocks higher. But there is a trade that I like to do. And a lot of times I like to leg into trades, which is what professionals do. You kind of leg into trades just like you may want to leg out of a trade if it's going in your direction. If it's going against you, usually best to take the whole thing off depending on the situation. So let's see. Let's get started. So let's turn the camera around. Actually, I think I can do it like this, yeah. Hey, Sebastian. How you doing, buddy? So we have a Clubhouse member in here. You might be the only Clubhouse member that's in here. Did you get the text message, Sebastian, on the trade? Just to make sure you got it. So you should already know the trade. Maybe you've already put it on. You did. Good man. So that's what we do in the Clubhouse, just so you guys know. I send out live text alerts. Good, and Sebastian's already in the trade. So just as a quick reminder, this is not a recommendation, and I'm not allowed to do recommendations. I'm simply showing you what I'm doing. All right. So let me switch the camera around. And you know what? I promised you guys yesterday I would do it on the bigger monitor. I haven't yet come around to it, but I will do it on the bigger monitor. And by the way, just so you guys know, like this, I have this outside patio in my office here, which is really awesome. That's where I do meetings. Anyway, let's do the trade. All right. So let's walk you through it. And last night I did a webinar on my gap trading course, and this plays right into it. I have a scanner, all right, and an indicator that works with gaps. And for example, today it gave us this gap in NVIDIA showed up under gaps that are unlikely to close today. All right. So let me quickly show you guys this, just so you believe me. Let me just quickly bring it up. I don't know where the hell did that stock go now. Oh, amazing. When you try to find it, you can't find it. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to find it here. Oh, up gap's not closing here. Okay. So this is a scanner. This is made for Thinkorswim. It also works like on TradeStation and other platforms. So you can see it says up gaps not closing. So NVDA is on here. The stock is up 14% right now, and it's likely that it's not going to close. So this would not be a gap that you want to fade or trade against. Also, the indicator today is giving us a little bit of an up arrow, which is, let me quickly show you that. Gap indicator here, and I'm going to detach this here. So this is the up gap today in NVIDIA here, and it's giving us an up arrow at the top of the candle, which is indicating that the gap is likely not going to close today. All right, so let's analyze the gap though first, and then I'll show you guys the exact trade that I put on. And Sebastian, don't tell anyone what the trade is yet, because Clubhouse members have already gotten it by text alert. So let's quickly take a step back, and this is always very, very important, okay, to understand where we are. Well, NVIDIA, of course, was a monster stock last year, and for those of you guys that may or may not be Clubhouse members, you might recall that, you know, I was very skeptical of chasing it higher. But the stock in the meantime has had a chance to consolidate, okay? And in fact, if you look at the stock, it really hasn't gone anywhere, okay, since late December of last year, where we had a double top formation. So the stock really, from that perspective, has kind of been stuck in a range, and it's still stuck in that range, which is part of the reason that I'm looking to construct the trade the way I'm doing it. Okay, so what you can see here is that a stock like this, when it rises so sharply like it did last year, is going to at some point start correcting very quickly. So it corrected just about 20% in late December into January, and then it corrected from its February peak into the March lows, also about 20%. And I say about, right, give or take 1 or 2% here. We're not counting beans. All right. So the stock essentially has had a lot of time to consolidate. All right, which to me is a constructive thing. Now, again, I already showed you the indicator and the scanner, what this is giving me. So this is all in conjunction. If you guys have Thinkorswim, or you have TradeStation, or you have NinjaTrader, you can use this indicator. So you can ping me, leave a message down into the comment box in this YouTube video, or you can send us an email, support@thesteadytrader.com, if you're interested. There's also a course that comes with it, a 14-part course. But let me show you the trade first, okay? So the trade now is very big. So number one, volume. Someone just mentioned volume. I don't know who that was, but you're correct. That's why I put volume on here. The volume is very big. That's not surprising. After earnings, we tend to see good volume. So to me, the way I like to draw this line is like this. I like this price action. I like what I'm seeing here. I like the fact that the stock has been coiling for the past couple of weeks. Right here, and it's now gapping higher. So to me, I like the stock long. Now, I don't really want to buy the stock. What I like to do is I like to sell put spreads, all right? So what I specifically did, and here's the trade, I sold a July 110, 105 put spread, all right, which is just about flat right now. You can still enter it at the same price more or less right now. Okay, this is not going to be a winner this second. This might take a few days, maybe a few weeks to work out. But I'm simply making a bet. I'm not making a bet that the stock is going higher right now. I'm simply saying that the stock is not going to go much below 110. Okay, that's about here. Below by July expiration. That's a much different bet to make, because the stock can go higher, it can go sideways, and it can even go from the very moment. It can even go about 6%, actually a little bit more. It can go to about 108.80, about 8% lower almost, and I can still make money in the trade by July expiration. Do you guys understand that? So instead of chasing the stock higher, that's what I'm choosing to do. It's not because I'm trying to fade the stock. I just like the odds of this trade better right now. Once the stock consolidates, if it consolidates, for all I know, the stock could be at $130 tomorrow. I don't know. In which case, this trade will work just fine. But I don't like to chase things higher. So to me, that's usually a way I like to sort of leg into stocks before I get long them, right? If they start doing breakouts like this. Does that make sense to you guys? Any comments? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Does it make sense? It's just a better reward to risk, and that's what a lot of the pros do, okay? So instead of chasing the stock higher here, up 14% on the day, whatever it is, almost 14.4%, that's what I'm liking to do, all right? So and again, just to be very clear, this is not a recommendation. I'm not allowed to give recommendations. I'm simply telling you what I do for educational purposes. And I already sent this out to Clubhouse members, again, for educational purpose. I sold a July 110, 105 put spread. That's what I did, okay? So I'm not making the bet that the stock is going to go higher. I'm simply saying that by July expiration, it's not going to be much below 110 or not much below 108, I think, roughly speaking. I took in a net credit of $1.30. Let me show you guys what that looks like. All right. So if you do it in a one lot, which I have here in this thing, you can see that the stock breaks even, though the trade breaks even at about $108.80. All right, and your maximum gain per lot is about 130 or whatever, 129 in this thing here, because this is just so you guys know, this is the portfolio that executes trades for the other portfolios. That's why we like to do one lots in this. And the maximum loss at expiration, which will never happen, is $370. All right? So that's the trade. That's what we did. So what I'm going to do is if this stock starts going dramatically reversing lower, I'm going to get out if the loss gets to about $60 or probably a little bit more, maybe if the loss gets to about $70 or so. All right? That's when I get out. And that would probably happen if the stock were to quickly reverse lower from where it is right now. Where am I going to take profit? I'm going to take profit if I start making about $50 in profits. That's going to be my first profit target. So that's why I like to look at this P&L graphs. Do you guys all know how to read these hockey stick option payoff diagrams? If you don't, I'm working on something for you guys on that as well. We just did a webinar for Clubhouse members last Thursday. So I'm getting a lot of no's. So if you guys don't understand how to read options payoff diagrams, don't trade options, or don't yet trade options. Okay, you got to learn how to read these payoff diagrams. It's really, really important. I'm going to have a course on this out pretty soon, and we're going to do webinars on it. So stay tuned on that. But that's the trade, guys. Do you have any questions on the trade? Does it make sense to you guys? Or where are we on that? I'm happy to stick around another couple minutes and answer any questions. But again, the point here is that the stock essentially is gapped higher. Now, again, is it possible that the stock tomorrow starts, mean reverting lower like this? Of course, anything is possible, which is exactly why I have no great expectations, like in no trade ever. We simply are going to follow the rules. All right. If the stock starts losing money and gets to the point where it loses us $60 per one lot, right, in the options, we simply get out. I mean, it's that simple, right? If it starts, if the time decay is going to start working for us, theta is already starting to kick in a little bit because the implied volatility is starting to decrease. And again, if this is way above your head right now, what I'm talking about, then awesome, because that's going to be a great foundation to start getting your knowledge up to start working on stuff. All right. Well, if there's no further questions, we're going to keep this very short. I like to keep these things to 15 minutes or so. But I hope this was helpful. And let me turn this puppy around. I hope this was helpful. And again, we're going to do more of these things going forward. I'm just trying to get some momentum going, get a few of these going every week. Ultimately, we're going to make this part of the Clubhouse service so that we can connect more beyond just text messages and morning videos and webinars. I think this YouTube stuff is very, very powerful. So anyway, guys, thank you. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below as well once the broadcast is over. Take care.